All right, it's here, the Poison Gym. And boy, have I got a match for you. This is probably one of the greatest matches that I've ever had. So the hype train, the hype is real, and you will all be very disappointed by how much I hyped this up and probably how lame the actual battle is. But I thought it was a great match, and Poison Gym, when I first knew I was taking on Poison Gym, I'm like, I'll bring my Trick Espeon, just destroy this guy. But as I kind of dove more into Poison as a type, kind of tricked myself and, essentially almost beaten myself by trying to figure out a good strategy for Poison. Rock was pretty easy, just a lot of physical attackers. So Poison was a little bit more difficult, a little bit more tricky. I knew he was going to bring the Gengar, so I brought my own Gengar with the Destiny Bond and the Focus Sash to take out his Gengar, and I brought the Reuniclus to handle the Tentacruel and the Mega Venusaur. And if you look closely at his team, he didn't bring either one of those, so I got this useless Reuniclus, and you'll kind of see, it was a really interesting set. I'm pretty proud of myself for thinking about it, but you'll just kind of see how boss this Reuniclus is. So I'm going to leave the Skarmory because I figured I could get the rocks up. And if I get the rocks up, then his team is pretty much ruined, unless his Eviolite Golbat is running like Defog or something. But for some reason, I go for Whirlwind. I guess I wanted to get the Golbat out of there, and then I would go for Stealth Rocks or something. But he taunts me. Taunts always work on me. And being the prideful man that I am, I stay in, go for the Steel Wing, and I manage to get the defense raise. And I'm like, all right, Nidoking can't touch me. I'm expecting the Rock Slide. Because I know these can run either physical or special, but this one turned out to be special, and that does not bode well for me. So Skarmory almost taken down, gets taken down almost to the Sturdy, but not quite. So I go into Umbreon, and to take his, special attacks, he's going to go for the Thunderbolt, and doesn't really do anything to me. And right here, made a little bit of a misplay. I definitely should have gone for the Foul Play, just to get some damage on that, but I go for the Wish because in my mind, Skarmory is like the most important person, or Pokemon, whatever, thing on my team, so I'm trying to heal my Skarmory up, and I figure maybe this thing will protect, maybe this thing will Baton Pass or whatever, and I'll get the Wish off, get some momentum on my team, but nope, he goes for the Steamroller, and I thought for a second maybe I'd live it because that Skarmory's max defense, max HP, but nope. Takes me out with the Steamroller, gets a little speed boost for himself, and I'm like, well, you know what, I'll go into Arcanine, get you a little Intimidate, make you a little scared, take out some of your attack there, and he's going to go for the Protect, and I kind of figured he was going to go for Protect or Baton Pass or something, and I didn't want to reveal that I have the Willow, so I just go for the Flare Blitz, and this time he goes for the Baton Pass. And I kind of figured that's what he was going to do, was the Protect, get one more speed boost, and then go into something. So this is when I go for the Will-O-Wisp. And I was more expecting the Drapion or the Toxicroak or even the Golbat or something. But he goes into his Nidoking, which is kind of a good play because if something's going to take some damage, it might as well be the Nidoking. And he was probably expecting the Flare Blitz again, and he kind of would have just rolled on me after that. But I go into the Reuniclus because this is max HP, and I believe like 50 points in special defense, and it's supposed to be a Calm Mind set, but that does way, way too much, and I'm like, oh, what are you running, Specs or something on this? And he just kind of like snickers, and I'm just like, come on, man, like you can tell me it's not that big of a deal. But so when I brought in Reuniclus, he's like, oh, good thing you didn't go into Gengar, and I'm like, oh, great idea, bro. And I go into Gengar to avoid that Earth Power, and he's gonna go for the T-Bolt. And right there is when I kind of realized he's not choiced, and I was like, Nevin Doi, you idiot. He's Sheer Force Life Orb. And I take him out with my Shadow Ball. I was going to make a Sheer Force Life Orb joke, but didn't have one. And he's going to go into his own Gengar. Goes for the Sucker Punch, and I'm like, oh, damn, Sucker Punch. I just go for the Destiny Bond because I'm trying to take my attacker down with it. Or my foe, whatever. I'm trying to take out this Gengar, because that's kind of a big problem for me. And he's going to go into the Scolipede, and I'm just going to go for the Destiny Bond again, because I thought maybe he'd go for Steamroller, maybe he would attack me or something. But he's just going to go for the Protect, and kind of get another little bit of speed boost. I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball, and he's going to speed boost, get a little bit faster. And I'm bringing Gengar back out, and I kind of have the formula for his team, but I thought maybe I could get a recover on my Reuniclus if he's going to Baton Pass or something like that, but no. He goes for the Steamroller and takes me out, and I'm just like, god damn it. Like, I lost both of my Pokemon that I brought for the Poison Gym. Like, both of my special-made, handcrafted Build-A-Bear Workshop Pokemon just for the Poison Gym. But this is kind of the formula I'm talking about with the Arcanine with the Intimidate. So he pretty much handles the Scolipede and the Drapion and the Toxicroak, and he Baton Passes the Intimidate to him. So comes in with the Drapion, and I'm really not worried about the Drapion, but he is pretty fast now with those speed boosts. But I go for the Flare Blitz, knock it down to half, pop his balloon, take a little bit of the recoil, and heal up with my lefties. And I'm not too worried about this. I'm usually expecting some sort of dark move like Pursuit or something, but he goes for the Earthquake, and I'm like, oh shit, I lost. But doesn't even do half. And I can go for the Flare Blitz and take out this Drapion. And I didn't realize at first that he had Baton Passed the Intimidate, and I'm just like, damn, like, I didn't realize how bulky my Arcanine was. But then I kind of, like, put 2 and 2 together, and I'm still not even at half, even with that recoil. Get a little lefties. He's going to go into the Golbat, and I still haven't quite figured out what this Golbat's moves are yet, but I know that Umbreon can take pretty much anything because my Umbreon's almost max HP. And he goes for the Toxic. And this is kind of where the game just, taunts me a little bit. And my Synchronize pops off, but it reminds me that it doesn't affect Golbat. I'm like, thanks, game, for just rubbing that in my face. But he's going to go for the Taunt, and he gets me again with the Taunt. And I should have gone for the Foul Play, but I'm like, Foul Play is not going to do anything really, and I was really trying to get my Wish so that I could heal something. But he hits me with the Super Fang, and I'm really impressed with the Super Fang. That's a great move, especially paired with the Toxic. Hit him with the Rocky Helmet a little bit. Well, I guess he hits himself with the Rocky Helmet, but whatever. And now I'm just kind of like, well, I'll save Umbreon possibly if I need Death Fodder for something. But I know that I know all of his moves, so he can't touch my Gengar at all, and Gengar's a pretty safe switch in. So I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt. Even though he just went for Roost, I figure maybe I'll get a little bit more damage out on it. He goes into the Toxicroak, and I'm like, oh cool, maybe I will paralyze it. But don't get any paralyzation or anything like that, and I'm expecting the Sucker Punch. So I go into my Arcanine and get the Intimidate. And Arcanine, I'm kind of figuring out that, like, he walls the entire team of his. Like, nothing can really damage the Arcanine except for that Gengar, which could probably take me out. But he goes for the Bullet Punch, gives me a little high five there, 5 damage, and heal up, go for the Morning Sun, get all my HP back. He's going to go for the Bulk Up. I'm kind of like, oh, Toxicroak, eat a Will-O-Wisp. And so now he is burned -1 because of the Intimidate. So he goes for a Drain Punch and just does absolutely nothing, just like an embarrassing amount. And I was kind of trying not to laugh at him for that one, and also trying to, keep my composure, keep my focus, because I've lost 2 very important Pokemon. Umbreon's pretty much fucked, and I'm not feeling too strong about this match. But he's going to withdraw and go into the Golbat. And I just go for the Extreme Speed. I don't know why. I literally have no idea why I went for Extreme Speed. It makes absolutely no sense whether I'm fighting Golbat, Toxicroak, anything on his team really. And he could have even gone into the Gengar and taken that, but whatever. So I go for the Flare Blitz and do a pretty considerable amount of damage, considering it's a bulky Golbat. And he goes for Toxic, and just a single tear left my eye and went down my cheek as my Arcanine got poisoned, because, I mean, he's at pretty much full HP, but Toxic is pretty much a death sentence, considering my Gengar is almost dead, my Umbreon's almost dead, and all I've got left is Machamp, and Machamp can't necessarily handle the rest of the team. So I go into Gengar, knowing Golbat really can't do anything to me, he's going to go for the Roost, and again, I'm just like, I'll go for Shadow Ball, and I'll see what I can do to him. So, Shadow Ball, I'm like, it's got to do a pretty decent amount, but really it does absolutely nothing. And I guess he's worried about the Destiny Bond, because he taunts me, or he just wanted to stay in and, mock me by taunting me and ruining another one of my moves. But he's going to go into the Scolipede, and I just T-Bolt, because I thought maybe I could hit the Golbat. But nope, he switches out, goes into the Scolipede, and I'm like, okay, I know how this works. You're going to go for the Protect, and I go into my Umbreon. And essentially, I predicted right here because he does go for the Protect, but it doesn't really help me as much because essentially I just got a free switch in, and he pretty much knows I'm not going to go for the Foul Play because I don't think it would kill me. But I go for the Heal Bell because I figure if anything, if he's going to Baton Pass, if he's going to do anything besides kill me, then I get the Heal Bell off, I heal Umbreon, and I heal my Arcanine. But he goes for the Steamroller, takes out my Umbreon, my sad little Umbreon, and gets a little leftovers for himself, so he's not even at half after the Rocky Helmet, and gets a little speed boost. I go into Gengar because I'm like, well, I don't really have anything, I'm not going to go into Arcanine yet, and he goes for Steamroller, and I'm like, damn it, like I lost. But he doesn't kill me. I don't know how that's a thing. Like, how he can wreck the Reuniclus and how he can wreck Umbreon. I mean, I know that there's some, it's super effective against those types, but, I mean, my Reuniclus, shit, like, max HP and 200 in defense, and its bold nature, like, seriously, you're gonna kill that thing? But, whatever. So I go into Arcanine. I'm like, obviously, I know how to handle your Toxicroak. Toxicroak can't do anything. He's gonna go for the Sucker Punch. He's got to. I mean, if I stay in with the Gengar, he'll get me. But I know better than that. I knew Sucker Punch was coming. And so I pretty much figured out his moveset on the Toxicroak by that point. All I knew for sure he was going to have was Sucker Punch. I was expecting maybe Poison Jab just for that stab bonus. But whatever. I intimidate him, and he's burned -1 on the Toxicroak. And he's going to go for the Drain Punch, and I'm like, yes, it doesn't do anything to me. Machamp is pretty much gonna clean up here. And not wanting to reveal any of my Machamp's moves, even though it's the most, like, cliched Machamp moveset, I go for the Knockoff, and he's going to go for the Bulk Up. And he's like, oh man, you knocked off my weakness policy. And I was like, oh shit, that was completely on accident. I just didn't want to reveal my moves, but that Toxicroak might have done some shit to me if I hadn't done that knockoff. I go for the embarrassing Bullet Punch, but he did do the Bulk Up, so I feel like Bullet Punch would have killed it if he didn't do the Bulk Up. And I also, up until about here in the battle and in my life, I thought that Steel was super effective against Poison, but it's just immune to Poison, so whatever. I bring Machamp back out. I go into my own Gengar, because I'm kind of expecting the Sucker Punch, or just, I really don't care about this Gengar. I just want to see what he does. He goes for the Dazzling Gleam, and now I'm really worried because Dazzling Gleam is super effective against fighting, and even though my Machamp's got the Assault Vest, I'm still kind of like, he might take me out. He goes for the Dazzling Gleam, and he's going to not take me out. Ha! Psych! This is where the battle gets good. I go for the Knockoff. Oh shit, he's also running Focus Sash. What are the chances? Like 2 Gengars, 2 Focus Sashes? Whatever, he's gonna go for the Sucker Punch. I'm like, god damn it, he got me. Boom! No, 13 damage only. I go for my Bullet Punch, take this Gengar, this little fucker, this little piece of shit out, and take it out like a hot date. And he's gonna go into the Golbat, and I'm gonna go into my Arcanine, just because, for some reason, I kept blanking that Golbat has no, like, damaging moves aside from the Super Fang. But, so I was like, oh, I gotta get my Intimidate. But he goes for the Toxic. I'm already poisoned, and I just get a little bit of health back. And then I think I lose some more to Toxic, and I'm just, like, right back where I started. And this is kind of just, like, my heart's beating. I'm really nervous. It's, like, 2-1, but I feel like he's in a better spot because one of mine's Toxic, and he could just Toxic Machamp. Machamp's almost dead. I'm really expecting like the Super Fang or something, but instead he goes for the Roost, and I'm like, all right, Machamp, this is all you, big guy. This is all you. He goes for Toxic, and God forbid he miss ever. He like nails every single Toxic. I don't know if that's like a poison type bonus or whatever, but I go for the Dynamic Punch. I thought maybe this would do some damage. Doesn't do any damage at all, but confusion. That was my whole plan with the No Guard Machamp. He's like, dude, you're going for Dynamic Punch in your guts? Because I was like, yes, he went for Toxic, because I didn't want him to go for Super Fang or something. And I'm like, yeah, dude. He's like, you're taking a big risk, man. I'm like, ha, I'm No Guard. But go for the Ice Punch. Even though he just roosted, I'm like, oh, maybe this will still do some damage. No, but what is that? Frozen Solid. Machamp dies. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Can I do this? Because now it starts the stall war between Roost and me taking recoil. And I'm just kind of like, damn it. Like, all I can go for at this point is the Flare Blitz. And I knew that it was going to thaw him out because fire versus, something frozen is going to thaw him out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I did some damage to it. And right there, I still don't think I can kill it with another Flare Blitz. But he's confused, hits himself in confusion. And I'm like, okay, I think I got this. Like, I think I could do enough damage where my Flare Blitz will take him out. But I'm thinking maybe he's still faster just because I'm running, every scenario in my mind. And I go for the Flare Blitz. I see that Arcanine used Flare Blitz light up, and I'm just like, good game, Nevin. Good game. Tachyon, the Poison Gym Leader. But you have fallen, my friend, to the might and the power of my Arcanine, the might and the power of my Machamp, and the might and the power of my stupidity not overbearing and not ruining my match here. But great game. Like I said, one of the most intense battles, one of the greatest ones I've had. Just really came down to the wire, and I was filming it for a class. I had to make a documentary, and so like my friends there videoing the whole time, and I'm just like, come on, Evan, you can't lose. Everyone's gonna see it in your class. Like, you can't lose. It's on videotape. So feel free again, comment, say what you liked about the video, what you hated about the video, what I could do to kind of improve the channel, improve the videos in the future. And yeah, next week's Dragon. So come support out for the Dragon Gym, and see you guys next week. Peace.